Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. So this is part 2 of the birth story. If you guys have watched the part 1 with my first daughter, then thank you for supporting that channel. But this story is now my second daughter I gave birth. Now I have said to you guys I'm going to be doing my birth stories because I like to listen to other people's birth stories and see what they went through, because each child you give them birth, I'm telling you the truth, they're all different. So my second daughter, she is now 7 years old. We're going into her story. Now her story was a shamble basically, but successfully birth I've given it naturally, without no epidural, without no drugs, nothing, no pain relief, nothing. Let's get into the story. So sit back, relax, make yourself cozy. With my second daughter, I'm sorry if you can hear the background noise. My daughter is there, she's watching Encanto, so apologize for that. But yes, my daughter, her name is Ramelia. When I got pregnant with her, I indeed had my own flat, and with my first daughter, I was 15, turning 16. She was 8, I was 18 years old and turning 19. So I was still young, but that was like my first place that I've basically had. So I had my first like flat, and not gonna lie, it was nice. 1-bedroom flat. I was local, to where I was. I knew my area. So yeah, it was very nice to be just independent wise, not having to be with mother and baby unit. If you have watched my first birth story, I have said that with my first daughter, I was in a mother and baby unit. With her getting pregnant, I was in my own flat. So I was very happy. I had my independence. My husband wasn't living with me fully back then. He was still, living with his parents and family members. He would come every single day because he drives. So, he came every single day. Sometimes he can sleep over, but majority of the days he was gone, because eventually he was gonna come and stay with me forever. That place that I've had as well, my husband couldn't stay there, is because it wasn't from my actual social services. When you turn 18, you usually should be getting a permanent place, but because I was in a mother and baby unit, it was the same company in a way that sent me to this flat to stay there, to still monitor me, but it wasn't like being in a mother and baby unit 24 hours, and you know what I mean? So I still had my own place, independence, can do whatever I want, but I had still people coming watching me. Whereas my husband, yeah, he could stay sometimes. So what he used to do is stay maybe like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, leave on Monday, but still he'll be coming every single day. Back then my husband was doing full-time like semi-professional footballer. Sometimes he'll be working, so he'll be doing his own life as well. So it was good. I had my independence. Now with Ramelia, it wasn't unexpected. I knew I wanted one. I didn't mind wanting one. That was it. I didn't mind having another baby. When I did find out I was pregnant, it didn't really shock me. It was like, okay, I'm pregnant, blah, blah, blah. Back then, having my second pregnancy, I wasn't into like private scans. I didn't know like nothing about private scan. I didn't know anything, because from the first experience I didn't really get to experience what you can do in pregnancies, but I did do research about pregnancies, so I knew a lot about pregnancies. But it's just I didn't know you could do private scan, by the way, and you could do this with your baby, being pregnant, and you could do this while you're pregnant. Now as a YouTuber as well, I've always wanted to be YouTuber, but I was very anorexic, guys. I was skinny. If I can find a picture, I'll show you how I looked before. But I was very skinny. I was heavily smoking still, even after having my first daughter, which I do regret very badly. I wasn't hungry all the time. So my thing was always tea and cigarettes. But when I got pregnant with her, I was more happy. I was more chilled back. I had my freedom. I could, and that's what I was using my ability. I was going out more, and I was thinking about the baby, but because I actually do think because I was smoking so much, it wasn't making me hungry. So even though I had my space, me and my husband, we enjoyed it. We went to our appointments all the time. We went to, you know, we did everything. With my second daughter, it was like I was so more excited that yes, I have my freedom finally. So fast forward, her pregnancy basically was good. I remember what I used to eat. I used to just eat a low, like on a diet in a way, just very vegetables, a lot of munchies only. And with both of my girls, like I've always said, it feels like I'm not carrying nothing, to be honest. You can see you're just a bump growing, but I don't feel like, since like having my son, my last daughter, and now fully I can feel pregnancy because I'm taking care of myself. But back then, you know, when you're not eating and you're just eating small and the baby's just great, you don't really get nothing. No backache like that, no nothing. You just feel like you're carrying a ball, and that's it. So with her one, her bump was exactly the same like my first daughter. It was like small. I used to go out all the time. I was very happy with my husband, at least. With my first daughters, all their stuff that I got from there, I transferred it with my second daughter, because when we went for scans, you see I didn't go private scans, but I went for normal hospital scans. They told us on the 20 weeks, yep, it's a girl basically. And my husband kind of clocked from long time ago. We didn't even know the nub theory. We didn't even know the head shape theory. Like finding out the gender early, you can get possible finding out genders. We didn't know nothing like that. But my husband knew that with girls, their head shapes, when you see them first whole trimester, they're very small and they're round, perfectly shaped round. Whereas the boys, they come up like an alien type of heads. So with my, you know, he knew it. Like, but even just not seeing the scan, my husband knew straight away it was going to be a girl. I don't know, my husband's got that sense. He sensed it straight away from the beginning. With my first daughter, it was a girl. My second daughter, now he knew straight away it was going to be a girl. So when we found out, bear in mind, I was still happy. You know, every scans that I used to have with my first daughter and my second daughter, they both said that, you know, your baby's smaller than what it's supposed to be. And they used to look at me and say, because of me, my height as well, I'm 5'3", and back then I was very skinny, so they were looking at that. But that's a concern when they see a baby that small. After I was like 36 weeks, I think I was 36 weeks pregnant, my mom and my sister, I told them to come when it's near 37 weeks to stay over my house, because one thing, I had my first daughter and I needed someone to look after her. I'm not near my husband's side of the family, so I was like, what am I going to do now that you have one kid and now you're pregnant? So I was thinking, shit. But my mom and my sister and my brother, I was nearly 37 now, but that third day when I hit 37, that night I slept, I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, I needed to go wee. I don't know what it was. I needed to go wee, I think. So I'm going toilet now, and bear in mind, I'm wiping now, but I see a mucus plug. Now, like I told you, I know a lot about the pregnancy because I was really into it, like reading about it and getting to know about pregnancy, the each by each and everything. And once I like something so much, I would really get into it like that. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, but usually with mucus plug, you're not in labor straight away. Wait for your contractions and see how it goes after. So that's what I did. I went back to sleep because I didn't really have no pain or anything like that. Then at 7 o'clock, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 hours after, I started to feel pain. Now, 7 o'clock went to like 8-ish. I was like, the pain is getting a bit more now. Now I kind of realized it was contractions. It wasn't Braxton Hicks. So I was like to my husband, I'm going to get the bag ready. And back then, even hospital bags, I wasn't really like into it, but I got all the stuff that I knew I needed for a baby, like clothes, nappies, blah, blah, blah. So I told him that because I said, I feel like I'm going to be in labor, and I explained the mucus plug at nighttime. So he was like, oh shit. And I was just like I can't lie, with the second time, because you've went through your first time, you kind of know what's going to happen. So you're ready, and I've always said to everyone, like, I'm ready to push, I'm ready to push, I'm ready. Your body kind of knows you're ready, and you're like, you can do it basically. So my sister and my mum was still there, my brother, so I was like, I was happy knowing that someone was gonna look after my daughter. But I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna take the pain. I even told my mum, I was like, I'm gonna take the pain at home until I know, like, myself, my body is ready to go. I'm gonna go into the hospital. And the hospital was literally like 7 minutes away. No, 10 minutes away. Now, yeah, worst mistake I've ever done. Sometimes, guys, waiting at home for your contraction is good, but don't take it to a point where you know you're like, oh, I need to go now. Like, I feel fucked. Like, I can feel you. Like I'm near, like, let's say 6, 7. Don't go. Make sure you go a little bit early. Anyways, I took my pain and I was like to my mum, I think now I'm ready, like, because I can feel the pain. I can't even like walk, like literally I couldn't like walk. So me stupidly, I was like, yeah, I think I'm ready now. So my mum was like, okay then, good luck. Da, 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 da. I really did want my sister to be there at the birth because I wanted her to experience what labor is, because she's never had a baby. So I go in the car now and we're driving. Now, yeah, the time here I've waited is around like basically reaching 3 where the school is finished. There is traffic. There was traffic. As we're going, I'm in pain so bad because the pain just went high. And we was only driving for like, if there's no traffic, my husband can get there within like 15 minutes max. But when there was traffic, you were willing to get there like around like 25 minutes basically. So when I was laying there, it was 10 minutes. I'm expecting I'm there now or close to be there. I look up now and imagine, because one thing about labor is that when you're sitting up straight in a car, the car's the worst position. You feel pain so bad because you're sitting in a great position for the babies to drop more. So when I'm telling you, yeah, I'm sitting, but it doesn't feel comfortable to me. Like, I couldn't even move because it was too late. The pain was just there. The humps wasn't helping me at all. Bear in mind, yeah, I'm laying down, I'm trying to cover my face, and I get up now, it's 10 minutes, and I'm like to him, we're still here. Like, we didn't even move from the position, from 5 minutes from my house to there, we didn't move the position, we were still there. So when I looked at him, he laughed, and I said, it's not even funny. I said, I'm in so much pain. How are we still here? And he's like, because there's traffic. And bear in mind, we didn't have insurance. We didn't even have petrol like that. I was like, oh my God, what is going on? So bear in mind, we're in the car, yeah. When we finally, now, yeah, it's reaching like, I think it was like 4, maybe 5. 4-ish. And it was one of those days that, you know, when sun goes more quicker down. So it was getting like dark now. So when I'm getting there, because bear in mind, when we got in the car, it was around like turning 3. It took us so long that when we got there, we couldn't find parking. So it took even more longer, basically. So when we found the parking, because it was just so packed on that day, it was crazy. So we were trying to find a parking space. When we finally parked in the hospital area, but we had to pay, we basically parked. Now, when I'm telling you, yeah, the contractions, like I said, I can hack. The pain below is what hurts. But because my 2 daughters weighed very small, it just feels burning. Like someone's holding a lighter down there and they're not letting it go, basically. If you carry a baby that's bigger, by the way, your vagina hurts differently. It hurts like someone's ripping your vagina. When I go out and I'm standing now, I'm still walking. I finally got to the entrance because I have to stop, take the pain, walk. I think I knew in my heart, I even told my husband, I think I'm already 10 centimeters because the way I was feeling, like your whole body shuts down. When I got there and the woman can see, I just stood there, but my body was like, you know, when you're in so much pain and your body starts to freeze, like it just goes numb. That's basically what happened to me. So when we got to the front door, she looked at me and she goes, "Where's the book?" What book? The book that they give you for the hospital. You should always carry it. I was like, you, and they won't let me in unless, say, if I get that book. And they can let me in, but they won't let my husband in. You guys know me by now, yeah. I can't do things alone if my husband's not there. I told a woman, yeah, I'm going back home. Like, there is no way, yeah, I'm going in there. And I knew I was gonna push, so I was like, no. Luckily, I'm telling the truth, I went with my husband. I didn't care. I went with him. I went all the way back home. And luckily by then there's no traffic. So finally we got there like in 12 minutes. Got back in 12 minutes. So now it's like 6 something. Oh my God. When I'm telling you, yeah, he drove very fast. I'm not gonna lie, my man drove so fast on that time. But now we come into the hospital, because from that second journey, when they just took me in one room, I stood there and the woman was like, jump on the bed. I couldn't move. Like, legitly, she was telling me, take off your... It feels like I was like smoking weed and I was hallucinating because I can hear them, but I can't move and I can't do anything for some reason. So I'm standing up and I'm stushed, like stoned. My husband's looking at me and he knew, yeah, like, you like, something is wrong. So he tried to take my trousers down and he just sees blood. Then he tries to lift my leg and he's telling me like, babe, lift up your leg. I need to do this quick. He's lifting up my leg, yeah, and this woman can see, like, she didn't, because I didn't call, I didn't do anything like that. They were just looking at me like, what? But it was only one woman and she was just sitting there thinking I was like 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters. I go on the bed now and I'm telling her there's nothing, no strap, nothing. I'm laying there and my husband's there and I'm holding his hand and I'm like, to the woman, I feel like I need to push. Like, I'm actually telling her now, can you come see, basically, like, they haven't checked me, they haven't done anything, she's just telling me to just lay there. She goes, okay then, push then, try. I'm looking at my husband like, I've got a heart condition, she's reading my book, like, how the hell are you just telling somebody, yeah, just sit there and push? Like, yeah, that's it. I was panicking because I needed like someone's support, like professional. She was just telling me, so when I'm telling the pain was so strong, yeah, I was like, nah, I need to push. It felt burning. So I pushed once, I'm pushing second time. She comes down because she can see like, oh shit, like her baby's head is coming out. So another woman come, luckily, I was holding her and I was holding my husband's like a headlock. I was pulling them down and my body was up because the head was just, one thing about labor, when it comes, it comes. You can't do anything to push it back up. You can't. So when I'm pushing now with the pain, I had no choice. I'm pushing. It took like literally 5 minutes. I zoomed her out and she was a very small baby. But when I zoomed her out, I felt so good after that. I'll show you some pictures of her as newborn. I don't know if I did that on my, I think I did. In my birth story one, hopefully I showed you pictures of my firstborn because I do have some. If I didn't, comment down below here. But it was fun. At least I enjoyed the whole pregnancy. At least it was fun memories to, you know, think about it going back. I did have her, she came out around 7:30ish, 7:38 I think it was, and my first daughter was 7 something. I think my firstborn was 7:28, she was 7:38, and stayed in hospital this time for 4 days, I think it was. My firstborn was 1 week, this one was like 3.5 days, maybe 4 days basically. Came back home, and but while my husband, you know, he didn't stay in hospital. That hospital back then you couldn't stay, so he did try to travel as much as he can, but luckily it's only one kid that I had at home. So it was easy for him. And when we got back home, yeah, it was nice. You know, it was nice. I had my own space. I had everything patterned. It was, yeah, it was beautiful. But that was my second daughter's birth story. I will be doing my son's birth story. That's another story. But yeah, what a memory I had with both of them. I don't regret nothing. I'm happy I had both of them. I'm happy I had two girls anyways. It's a blessing. So if you guys enjoyed this birth story, and if I've helped in any way, then please like, subscribe and share. It does really help me out. And please make sure you guys tune into all my videos. And I'm gonna see you guys in my next birth story, which I can't wait.